Celebrities you didn't know were black. What if I told you that the faces on your favorite posters hold an ancestral secret they've spent a lifetime hiding in plain sight? Welcome to Black Celebrity Secrets, where we pull back the velvet curtain on Hollywood's most surprising heritages. From the king of Hollywood to the biggest divas on the planet, many icons have a rich black lineage that was either scrubbed by the industry or kept as a family mystery. Are you ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about race and identity in the spotlight? We're uncovering the hidden roots of the world's most famous faces. Stop being a spectator and join the movement. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss the shocking truths we're about to reveal. Jennifer Beals. In the vibrant cinematic landscape of the 1980s, few images are as iconic as a young woman in an off-the-shoulder sweatshirt, embodying the raw ambition of a welder turned dancer. This was the world introduction to Jennifer Beals in the 1983 blockbuster Flashdance. The film was a cultural juggernaut, grossing over $92 million domestically and cementing Beals as a global fashion icon. However, beneath the leg warmers and the Hollywood strobe lights, Beals was navigating a complex personal reality that many of her fans never realized. Born in Chicago, Illinois, she is the daughter of Alfred Beals, a hard-working black grocery store owner, and Jeannie Cohen, an elementary school teacher of Irish descent. Growing up as a biracial child in the mid-20th century, Beals often felt she existed in a murky area of identity. While her light complexion allowed her to move through Hollywood with a certain level of ambiguity, she has always been steadfast in honoring her black heritage. In an era where the industry preferred to pigeonhole actors into rigid racial boxes, Beals chose roles that transcended these boundaries. Yet she never allowed her roots to be erased. She once remarked that her father's experiences with discrimination deeply shaped her worldview, instilling in her a resilience that fueled her Ivy League education at Yale University, even as her fame reached its zenith. Beyond the dance floor, Beals has built a formidable career defined by intellectual depth and advocacy. From her critically acclaimed role as Bet Porter in The L Word, a character she portrayed for 6 seasons exploring intersectional identities, to her recent appearances in the Star Wars universe, she remains a pioneer for representation. She has spent over 4 decades proving that identity is not a monolith, but a rich, layered tapestry. Jennifer Beals is not just an 80s star, she is a testament to the hidden diversity of Hollywood's elite, a woman whose black ancestry is the silent, powerful engine behind her enduring grace and uncompromising artistic integrity. Slash. The top hat, the unruly mop of black curls, and the Gibson Les Paul slung low, this is the silhouette of a rock god. Saul Hudson, known to the world as Slash, is the sonic architect behind Guns N' Roses, the band that defined the dangerous edge of rock and roll. His riffs on Sweet Child of Mine and Welcome to the Jungle are etched into the DNA of music history, contributing to the band's staggering 150 million records sold worldwide. Yet for millions of fans who grew up worshiping his posters, there was a shocking secret hidden in plain sight. One of the greatest guitarists of all time is biracial, born to a mother who was a prominent black creative force. Slash was born in Hampstead, London, to Ola Hudson, a visionary black American costume designer whose clients included legends like David Bowie and Ringo Starr. His father, Anthony Hudson, was a white English artist who created album covers for Neil Young. Moving from the UK to the gritty streets of Los Angeles as a child, Slash was raised at the epicenter of a multicultural artistic revolution. While his appearance often led people to assume he was simply of Mediterranean or European descent, Slash has always been deeply connected to his black roots. He often credited his mother's soul and R&B records for providing the rhythmic foundation that allowed him to infuse hard rock with a unique bluesy swag that his peers couldn't replicate. Despite the excesses of the 1980s and 90s, Slash's story is one of profound survival and cultural fusion. He didn't just play rock music, he reclaimed it as a genre rooted in the Black experience, bringing a soulful intensity back to the forefront of the guitar world. As a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, his legacy transcends the King of Hollywood tropes. Slash stands as a powerful reminder that the face of rock music is far more diverse than the history books often suggest. He is a multi-ethnic icon who didn't need to shout about his heritage. He let his fingers do the talking, shredding through racial barriers one legendary solo at a time. Logic. In the high-stakes arena of modern hip-hop, few artists have ignited as much conversation regarding racial identity as Sir Robert Bryson Hall II, known globally as Logic. Emerging from Gaithersburg, Maryland, Logic's rise was fueled by a rapid-fire flow and raw, introspective lyricism that earned him billions of streams and a triple platinum hit with 1-800-273-8255. However, for much of his career, Logic has had to defend his very existence to a public that often refuses to believe he is black. Born to a black father and a white mother, his pale complexion and blonde hair often act as a hidden layer, leading many to categorize him as a white rapper. This persistent misidentification became the rotten core of his public struggle, forcing him to constantly reaffirm his heritage in a culture that demands visual proof of one's roots. His childhood was a murky area of trauma and displacement. Logic grew up in a household plagued by addiction and poverty, witnessing the harsh reality check of systemic racism through the experiences of his father and brothers. Despite his outward appearance, he was raised within the black experience, shaped by the struggles and the culture of his family. He has been vocal about the unsettling truths of being biracial, often rapping about the pain of being rejected by both communities, the white world seeing him as other, and the black community questioning his authenticity. This duality is the central theme of his 2017 album, Everybody, where he used his platform to advocate for a post-racial ideal, challenging the industry to look beyond the surface. Logic's impact extends beyond music. He is a New York Times best-selling author and a pioneer in the self-reinvention of the modern artist. By 2026, his legacy is defined by his refusal to be silenced by those who want to typecast him. He has successfully navigated the turbulent waters of public life by turning his identity crisis into a message of unity. Logic stands as a role model for a new generation of multi-ethnic individuals, proving that identity isn't about how the world sees you, but about the ancestral secrets you carry in your blood. He remains a racial lone ranger, shredding through the rigid racial classifications of the music industry. Carol Channing. The dazzling lights of Broadway never shone brighter than when Carol Channing took the stage. With her gravelly voice, wide-eyed expressions, and legendary comedic timing, she was the undisputed queen of the musical theater world for over 6 decades. Most famous for her 4,500 performances as Dolly Levi in Hello, Dolly, Channing was a beloved icon who seemed to embody the quintessential white American starlet of the mid-20th century. However, beneath the sequins and the flamboyant wigs was a secret that remained buried for most of her life. It wasn't until she was 16 years old, as she was leaving for college, that her mother revealed a fascinating ancestral secret. Her father, George Channing, was a biracial man of African American and German descent. For much of her career, Channing lived in a haze of secrecy. Her father, a prominent editor and Christian Science lecturer, had passed as white to navigate a segregated society and a predominantly white entertainment industry. Realizing that revealing her heritage in the 1940s and 50s could derail her career before it even began, Carol followed suit, She understood the societal pressure to conform and the danger of being typecast or barred from leading roles. This hidden layer to her identity adds a profound depth to her legacy. She wasn't just a star, she was a woman navigating a complex interplay of racial identity, while maintaining a squeaky clean image for a public that was not yet ready for the truth. It was only in her 2002 autobiography, Just Lucky, I Guess, that Channing finally peeled back the layers of deception. She spoke with immense pride about her greatest genes in show business, humorously noting that her rhythm and soul came from her Black ancestry. Her decision to openly embrace her heritage in her 80s reflected a changing societal landscape that she helped shape. Channing's story is a captivating exploration of the lengths to which Black artists once had to go to achieve success. When she passed away in 2019 at the age of 97, she left behind more than just Broadway records. She left a sobering testament to the enduring power of identity and the triumph of a woman who was definitely a person of color in a world that only saw the glitter. Wentworth Miller. In the high-stakes world of television, few faces became as synonymous with tactical brilliance as Wentworth Miller. As the brooding, blue-eyed Michael Scofield in the global hit Prison Break, Miller's stoic intensity captivated millions across 90 episodes, earning him a Golden Globe nomination and cementing his status as a leading man. However, while his character was masterminding an escape from behind gray walls, Miller himself was navigating a different kind of confinement: the pressure of being a racial lone ranger in an industry that rarely looked past his fair skin. Born in Chipping Norton, England, to American parents, Miller possesses a lineage that is a fascinating mosaic of global history. His father, Wentworth E. Miller II, a Rhodes Scholar and lawyer, is a Black man of African-American, Jamaican, German, and English descent, while his mother is of Russian, French, and Syrian heritage. For years, Miller lived in a murky area where the public assumed he was white, a perception he often found himself having to constantly define or risk being stuck into some box. One of the most unsettling truths of his career occurred during his time at Princeton University, where a controversial cartoon he drew was misinterpreted as a racial slur because his classmates were unaware of his Black ancestry. This incident eerily mirrored his role in the 2003 film The Human Stain, where he played a Black man passing as white, a role for which he felt an intense personal connection. By 2026, his decision to be vocal about his biracial identity and his struggles with mental health has transformed him into a profound role model for inclusivity. Miller has described his identity as being caught between two communities, a position that allowed him to observe society from a unique vantage point. He didn't just break out of fictional prisons, he broke out of the rigid racial classifications that Hollywood attempted to impose on him. His legacy is no longer just about the tattoos of a fictional convict, but about the enduring power of resilience and the courage to claim a multifaceted heritage that includes the depth of the Black experience. Wentworth Miller stands as a captivating exploration of why we must never judge a book or a celebrity by its cover, reminding us that the most iconic figures often carry ancestral secrets that are as rich as they are surprising. Halsey. The glittering world of fame has few voices as raw and unapologetic as Ashley Nicolette Frangipane, known to the world as Halsey. With over 50 million RIAA certified singles and billions of streams, she has dominated the charts with an alt-pop sound that is as smoky and husky as her distinctive soprano voice. Yet, Halsey's journey to becoming one of Time's 100 most influential people was shaped by a rotten core of racial displacement and societal misunderstanding. Born in New Jersey to an African-American father and a mother of Italian and Hungarian descent, Halsey is white passing, a reality she has navigated with fierce honesty, often calling herself a black woman who looks like a white girl. Growing up in a household where she listened to both TLC and Britney Spears, Halsey's biracial identity was a murky area of cultural tug-of-war. She has spoken candidly about the harsh reality check of being treated differently than her black father or her brothers, Sevian and Dante, due to her appearance. In a landmark 2017 interview, she addressed the complex interplay of racial identity, stating that while she is white passing, she identifies strongly as a black woman and refuses to allow her heritage to be erased by the perceptions of others. This ancestral secret became the heartbeat of her music, particularly in tracks like The Feeling, where she explores themes of identity and social justice, advocating for a world where people are not forced to conform to a single racial box. By 2026, Halsey's impact as a role model extends far beyond the stage. She is a powerful advocate for mental health and LGBTQ+ rights, using her platform to shred through the biases of the industry. Her story is a captivating exploration of how hidden layers to one's identity can fuel a creative fire. She has embraced her multi-ethnic background as a source of strength, proving that identity is indifferent to depth only if one allows it to be. Halsey remains a testament to the transformative power of self-reinvention, a woman who honors her black heritage with every unconventional celebration of her artistry, reminding the world that some of the most iconic individuals are those who refuse to be defined by anything but their own truth. Pete Wentz. In the mid-2000s, Pete Wentz was the ultimate poster child for the emo subculture, a scene often perceived as a monolith of white suburban angst. As the bassist and primary lyricist for Fall Out Boy, Wentz's eyeliner and asymmetrical hair became the visual shorthand for a generation's spiraling addiction to pop punk. However, beneath the glittering world of fame lived a hidden layer to his identity that few fans realized until he began speaking openly about his heritage. Born Peter Louis Kingston Wentz III, he is the product of a rich multi-ethnic tapestry. While his father is of English and German descent, his mother, Dale Lewis, is of Afro-Jamaican heritage. This ancestral secret connects him to a powerful lineage. His maternal grandfather, Arthur Winston Lewis, served as the U.S. ambassador to Sierra Leone and was a cousin of the legendary General Colin Powell. Growing up in Wilmette, Illinois, Wentz often felt like a racial lone ranger, existing in a murky area where he didn't quite fit the rigid expectations of the predominantly white neighborhood or the punk scene he inhabited. He has recalled how his mother's family history provided a rhythmic foundation for his life, even as he navigated the turbulent waters of bipolar disorder and public scrutiny. The unsettling truth is that many early Fall Out Boy fans assumed he was white, a misidentification that Wentz has since dismantled by proudly celebrating his black roots. He once noted that his earliest musical memory was listening to "Build Me Up, Buttercup" by The Foundations, a band led by a black singer, in the back of his father's car, a subtle foreshadowing of his own genre-blending future. By 2026, Wentz's impact as a role model for biracial youth in the rock world is undeniable. He hasn't just sold over 10 million albums, he has shredded through the typecast image of a rock star. His production company, DCD2 Records, and his various creative ventures are built on the enduring power of resilience he inherited from his diplomat grandfather. Pete Wentz remains a captivating exploration of why we must challenge our assumptions about heritage. He is a man who honors his Afro-Jamaican bloodline while reigning as an icon of a genre he helped diversify, proving that the most iconic individuals are often those whose stories have the most unexpected hidden layers. Mariah Carey. If the world of pop music has a queen of resilience, it is undoubtedly Mariah Carey. With a legendary 5-octave vocal range and a staggering 19 #1 hits, the most for any solo artist in history, she has defined star power for over 3 decades. Yet her journey to selling over 220 million records was forged in a rotten core of racial tension and displacement. Born in Huntington, New York, Mariah is the daughter of Patricia Hickey, a white Irish-American opera singer, and Alfred Roy Carey, an aeronautical engineer of African-American and Afro-Venezuelan descent. Her parents' marriage was so controversial in the late 1960s that Patricia's family disowned her, and the young family faced unimaginable secrets of hate, including neighbors poisoning their dog and burning crosses on their lawn. Mariah's childhood was a murky area of not being black enough to fit in, but not white enough to be accepted. In her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, she peeled back the layers of deception surrounding her image, revealing how early record executives tried to manage her identity by keeping her heritage ambiguous to appeal to a wider, primarily white audience. This led to the frustrating mislabeling of her as a white soul singer, an erasure she fought against throughout the 1990s. She has spoken candidly about the harsh reality check of being racialized as black by society while feeling like a non-entity within the industry's rigid boxes. Her ancestral secret wasn't just a fact of birth, it was the post-racial ideal she lived long before the world was ready to discuss it. Today, at 56, Mariah stands as a role model who has utilized her unconventional celebration of her biracial identity to educate a global audience. She has shredded through the biases of Hollywood, ensuring her children, Moroccan and Monroe, are raised with a profound understanding of their black and Venezuelan roots. Her legacy is not just the glittering world of Christmas anthems and whistle notes. It is a sobering testament to a woman who survived a downfall of identity erasure to become a captivating icon. Mariah Carey remains the ultimate proof that identity is multifaceted, a superstar who proudly embraces her rich and varied cultural background while continuing to reign as a visionary in the music world. Vin Diesel. In the high-octane world of Hollywood, Vin Diesel stands as a titan of action, a man whose gravelly voice and muscular presence have defined the Fast and Furious franchise for over 2 decades. Yet behind the action-packed performances and the persona of Dominic Toretto lies a hidden layer to his identity that has often left audiences curious. Born Mark Sinclair, Diesel has famously described himself as a person of ambiguous ethnicity. His biological father remains a mystery he has never met, but his mother, Delora, is of Scottish, English, and German descent. The ancestral secret that shaped him, however, is the man who raised him, his adoptive father, Irving H. Vincent, an African-American acting instructor and theater manager who Diesel credits as the primary influence on his life and character. Diesel's career has been a captivating exploration of race in an industry that often demands rigid racial classifications. In 1995, frustrated by being typecast or rejected for not being black enough or white enough, he wrote, directed, and starred in the short film Multifacial. This semi-autobiographical project highlighted the difficulties faced by multi-ethnic actors and caught the eye of Steven Spielberg, leading to his breakout role in Saving Private Ryan. Since then, Diesel has leveraged his One Race production company, which has collectively earned over $6 billion worldwide by 2026, to promote a post-racial ideal. He often chooses roles where his character's race is never explicitly defined, embodying a vision of Hollywood where talent transcends skin color. His trajectory serves as a sobering testament to the evolving landscape of identity. Diesel doesn't just play a hero on screen, he is a role model for a new generation of actors who celebrate their diverse ethnic backgrounds without being confined by them. By 2026, his work continues to challenge traditional notions of race, proving that the man who raised him truly made him who he is. Vin Diesel remains a visionary figure, a superstar whose hidden truths have allowed him to bridge cultural divides and become a global icon of unity through the transformative power of self-reinvention. Troian Bellisario. In the glittering world of fame, few actresses possess the intellectual depth and striking presence of Troian Bellisario. Best known for her role as the hyper-intelligent Spencer Hastings on the hit series Pretty Little Liars, Bellisario became a beloved icon for a generation of viewers. However, her unique appearance, often described as classically European or Mediterranean, masks a rich and varied cultural background that remains an unsettling truth for many who assume she is white. Born into a Hollywood dynasty, Troian is the daughter of legendary producer Donald P. Bellisario, who is of Italian and Serbian descent, and Deborah Pratt, a multi-talented African-American and Creole actress and producer. Growing up in the affluent enclave of Bel Air, Troian navigated a murky area of identity. While her name and features often led people to overlook her black heritage, she was raised with a profound understanding of the complex interplay of racial identity. Her mother, Deborah Pratt, was a pioneer in her own right, and Troian has often spoken about the societal pressure to conform to the expectations of a predominantly white entertainment industry. This hidden layer to her life added a layer of complexity to her squeaky clean image on television, where she felt the striving to be perfect was a false representation that didn't account for the depth and richness of her ancestry. By 2026, Bellisario has transitioned from a teen idol to a respected filmmaker and advocate. Her 2017 film Feed, which she wrote and produced, explored the unsettling truths of perfectionism and mental health, themes that resonated with her own struggles with an eating disorder. She remains a role model who refuses to be typecast, using her platform to shred through the biases of Hollywood. Her story is a captivating exploration of how ancestral secrets can fuel a career of substance. Troian Bellisario stands as a sobering reminder that identity is a multifaceted journey, a woman who proudly carries her African-American and Creole roots while reigning as one of the most versatile and iconic individuals of her generation. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. In the Coliseum of modern entertainment, few figures command as much gravity as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. With a career that has generated over $10.5 billion at the global box office and a social media following exceeding 390 million, he is a titular titan of industry. Yet, the man celebrated as a unique and remarkable talent began his journey in a murky area of identity, navigating a childhood marked by racial prejudice and displacement. Born in Hayward, California, Johnson is the embodiment of a rich and varied cultural background. Born to Rocky Johnson, a Black Canadian wrestling trailblazer, and Ada Maivia, a descendant of Samoan wrestling royalty. Growing up, Johnson often felt like a racial lone ranger, describing how he was frequently misidentified based on his appearance. In his youth, he faced the harsh reality check of being labeled a half-breed by those who couldn't reconcile his dual heritage. This struggle for belonging was a rotten core that he eventually transformed into his greatest strength. In the wrestling ring, he shifted from the generic Rocky Maivia to The Rock, a bold and charismatic persona that allowed him to embrace his full, multifaceted identity. He has been forthright about his childhood experiences, using his platform to shred through the biases that once held him back. By 2026, Johnson's legacy is defined by his grounded and humble approach and his unwavering pride in being a Samoan and a black man. He has leveraged his one race philosophy to become a visionary role model, proving that self-reinvention is the ultimate superpower. His story is a captivating exploration of how ancestral secrets, from the sugarcane fields of Nova Scotia to the islands of Polynesia, can fuel a global empire. Dwayne Johnson remains a sobering reminder that the most iconic individuals are those who refuse to choose just one side of their history, instead choosing to honor the diversity that makes them legendary. Rashida Jones. In the glittering world of fame, Rashida Jones has carved out a niche as one of Hollywood's most sharp-witted and versatile creators. Known for her roles in Parks and Recreation and The Office, she has a unique appearance that often leads the public to categorize her solely within her mother's Ashkenazi Jewish heritage. However, Rashida is the daughter of a fascinating personal story. Born to the legendary African-American music producer Quincy Jones and the late actress Peggy Lipton. Growing up in the affluent enclave of Bel Air, she lived at the intersection of Black and Jewish cultures, a multicultural identity that she once described as a miracle in a world obsessed with rigid racial classifications. For Rashida, identity was never a haze. It was a miracle, nurtured by parents who created a supportive community during an era when interracial marriage was still not that acceptable. She attended Hebrew school and celebrated Passover, yet she also deeply connected with her Black heritage as a student at Harvard University, where she joined the Black Student Association. This dual heritage has significantly impacted her professional work, particularly her 2018 Grammy-winning documentary, Quincy, where she peeled back the layers of her father's life. She has spoken about the complex interplay of her roots, stating that while her father was easily identified as a black man, she was often met with surprise when her own background was revealed. By 2026, Rashida Jones has become a role model for those who refuse to be typecast by their skin tone or their unique appearance. She has shredded through the societal pressure to conform, proving that identity is multifaceted and often devoid of depth only to those who refuse to look closer. Her journey is a captivating exploration of how ancestral secrets from both the Delta and the diaspora can create a multifaceted media personality. Rashida remains a sobering testament to the beauty of having a multicultural identity, a woman who values her rich and varied background as the primary source of her talented and charismatic storytelling. Meghan Markle. The glittering world of fame has few narratives as polarizing or as transformative as that of Meghan Markle. Long before she became the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan was a working actress navigating the murky area of Hollywood's racial landscape. Born in Los Angeles to Doria Ragland, an African-American clinical therapist, and Thomas Markle, a white Emmy-winning lighting director, Meghan's identity was a haze that she had to define for herself. She has eloquently described the complex interplay of racial identity, recalling how she was often too light for the black roles and too dark for the white ones, a frustrating, rotten core of an industry obsessed with rigid racial classifications. Her breakthrough role in the legal drama Suits was a landmark moment, but the true harsh reality check arrived when her relationship with Prince Harry became public. Suddenly, her ancestral secrets were thrust into the global spotlight, with the British media turning her race into an issue that she hadn't faced as intensely in her American life. Headlines like "Almost Straight Out of Compton" highlighted the unsettling truths of systemic prejudice. Meghan has since shared how this sudden shift in perception forced a profound understanding of her role as a biracial woman in a traditional institution. She described herself as gray, a color she initially feared was devoid of depth, but eventually embraced as a symbol of her unique bridge between two worlds. By 2026, Meghan Markle has transitioned from a royal figure to a global advocate and media mogul. Through her Archwell Foundation, she has shredded through the biases of the press, using her platform to spark crucial conversations about race, identity, and representation. She remains a role model for mixed-race individuals, proving that identity is multifaceted and that one's rich and varied cultural background is a source of immense power. Her story is a captivating exploration of resilience, a woman who refused to be typecast by a crown or a camera and instead chose to honor the diversity of her Black heritage on a global stage. Derek Jeter. In the hallowed halls of Yankee Stadium, the name Derek Jeter is synonymous with baseball excellence. As the shortstop and captain who led New York to 5 World Series titles, he was a titular titan of sport, a man whose squeaky clean image and unwavering focus made him a legend. However, behind the glittering world of pinstripes and championships lies a hidden layer to his identity that was forged in the turbulent waters of 1970s America. Born in New Jersey to Charles Jeter, a Black substance abuse counselor, and Dorothy Connors, a white accountant of Irish descent, Derek's ancestral secrets began with his parents meeting in the U.S. Army in Germany, a union that faced societal disapproval upon their return to the States. Growing up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Jeter faced a harsh reality check early on. He has openly discussed the unsettling truths of being a biracial child, recalling how many individuals would stare at his interracial family. The rotten core of racism became even more overt as he matured. Jeter vividly remembers being deeply wounded by a racial slur shouted at him in his own hometown shortly after being drafted. These experiences didn't derail him. Instead, they instilled a resilience and determination that his manager, Buck Showalter, later credited for Jeter's ability to thrive under the intense pressure of New York City. He wasn't just playing for a team, he was embodying a post-racial ideal in a sport that had long struggled with diversity. By 2026, the Hall of Famer's legacy extends far beyond his 3,465 career hits. Through his Turn 2 Foundation, Jeter has become a visionary role model, motivating youth to shred through the biases of society. He remains a sobering testament to the power of a grounded and humble approach, proving that identity is multifaceted and that excellence knows no color. Derek Jeter's story is a captivating exploration of how a rich and varied cultural background can fuel a journey to the very top. He stands as one of the most iconic individuals in sports history, a man who honored his Black heritage with every unconventional celebration of his legendary career. Maya Rudolph. In the world of high-stakes comedy, Maya Rudolph is a chameleon of unique and remarkable talent, a performer whose charismatic on-screen presence has made her a staple of American humor for decades. Best known for her legendary tenure on Saturday Night Live, Rudolph has the uncanny ability to transform into anyone, from pop divas to political titans. However, beneath the flashing lights of the comedy stage lies a hidden layer to her identity that is deeply rooted in musical royalty. Born in Gainesville, Florida, Maya is the daughter of the renowned singer Minnie Riperton, the Black soul icon famous for the whistle note anthem Lovin' You, and Richard Rudolph, a white composer of Ashkenazi Jewish descent. Growing up, Maya navigated a murky area of identity, frequently feeling like a racial lone ranger because she lacked mixed role models in the media. She has described the unsettling truth of her youth where her radar would constantly search for others who shared her multi-ethnic background. This ancestral secret became a source of strength when she portrayed Kamala Harris on a national stage, a role she described as meaningful because it allowed her to represent women of color in positions of leadership. Her African-American roots aren't just a biographical footnote, they are the rhythmic foundation of her timing and her soulful voice, a legacy she honors by shredding through the industry's rigid racial classifications. By 2026, Rudolph has become a visionary role model, admired for her resilience and determination to see stories that reflect the world we live in. She has peeled back the layers of the typical celebrity persona, proving that identity is multifaceted and rich with hidden truths. Her story is a captivating exploration of how a rich and varied cultural background can fuel a career of unconventional celebration. Maya Rudolph remains a sobering testament to the power of representation, a woman who proudly carries her mother's soulful legacy while reigning as one of the most versatile and iconic individuals in the glittering world of fame. Tracee Ellis Ross. To the world, Tracee Ellis Ross is a multifaceted media personality, a celebrated actress and innovative entrepreneur whose unwavering self-confidence has made her a fashion and cultural icon. Known for her lead roles in Girlfriends and Blackish, she has dominated television with a charismatic presence that feels both regal and relatable. However, her unique family history is one of the most fascinating personal stories in Hollywood. As the daughter of the legendary Motown singer Diana Ross and music executive Robert Ellis Silverstein, Tracee was raised in a nurturing environment where her African-American and Jewish heritage were both celebrated. Yet, even with a legendary mother, Tracee had to navigate the harsh reality check of carving out an identity that was uniquely her own. Growing up in the glittering world of international stardom, Tracee watched her mother prioritize family focus over fame, a value that helped her manage the turbulent waters of public life. She has been forthright about the complex interplay of racial identity, particularly in her role as Dr. Rainbow Johnson, a character that explored the murky area of being biracial in America. Tracee has shredded through the societal pressure to conform, using her platform to spark crucial conversations about diversity and inclusion. Her ancestral secrets are not hidden. They are the motivation and connection she uses to shred through the typecast roles often offered to women of color. By 2026, Tracee's legacy is defined by her transformative power of self-reinvention and her passionate advocacy for equal treatment across the board. She has turned her unique appearance, including her self-confidence and acceptance of her physical attributes, into a role model for authenticity. Her story is a captivating exploration of how a rich and varied background can be a source of motivation rather than a haze of confusion. Tracee Ellis Ross remains a sobering reminder that identity is multifaceted, a woman who honors her Motown royalty while standing firmly as a respected figure in her own right, proving that representation is the key to a diverse world. Nicole Richie. In the early 2000s, Nicole Richie was the glittering epicenter of the reality TV revolution, a teen idol whose sharp wit on The Simple Life made her a household name. However, for years, the public perceived her through a haze of misconception regarding her hidden layer of identity. While she is the legally adopted daughter of the legendary Motown icon Lionel Richie and his first wife Brenda Harvey, Nicole's ancestral secrets are rooted in a rich and varied cultural background that many fans never fully realized. Born Nicole Camille Escovedo, Her biological father is Peter Michael Escovedo, a musician of African-American and Mexican descent who played in Lionel's band, and her biological mother was a backstage assistant. Growing up in the affluent enclave of Hollywood, Nicole navigated a murky area of identity where her unique appearance often led people to overlook her Black heritage. Lionel Richie, who became her guardian when she was 3 and officially adopted her at 9, made her who she is. But he also encouraged her to honor the diversity of her roots. Nicole has spoken about the complex interplay of her life, noting that while she was raised in a world of unimaginable wealth, she remained forthright about her multicultural identity. The unsettling truth is that many assumed she was simply Latina or white passing, an indifferent color that she eventually transformed into a source of motivation for her own self-reinvention as a fashion mogul and author. By 2026, Nicole Richie has shredded through the disgraced tropes of her youth to become a visionary entrepreneur. Her brand, House of Harlow 1960, is a captivating exploration of her bohemian and diverse influences, blending her African-American, Mexican, and Creole inspirations. She remains a role model for those who refuse to be defined by the circumstances of their birth, proving that identity is multifaceted and often devoid of depth only to those who refuse to see the fascinating personal story underneath. Nicole stands as a sobering testament to the enduring power of resilience, a woman who honors her Motown legacy while standing firmly in her own rich and varied truth. Colin Kaepernick. The glittering world of fame has few figures as contentious or as impactful as Colin Kaepernick. Once a titular titan of the NFL who led the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl, his action-packed performances were eventually eclipsed by his profound understanding of systemic racial prejudice. Born in Milwaukee to a white mother and an African-American father of Ghanaian and Nigerian descent, Kaepernick's journey began in a murky area of identity when he was placed for adoption at 5 weeks old. He was raised by Rick and Teresa Kaepernick, a white couple who were transparent about his ancestral secrets. Yet growing up in a predominantly white environment in California presented him with a harsh reality check. Kaepernick has eloquently shared the unsettling truths of being a biracial individual within a white family, recalling how his identity developed as he witnessed societal disapproval of his unique appearance. This hidden layer to his life became a catalyst for change when he began his silent protest against racial discrimination by kneeling during the national anthem in 2016. The move derailed his athletic career, but catapulted him into a role as a global icon for social justice. He shredded through the rigid racial classifications of the sports world, choosing to honor his African heritage and Black culture, even when it meant losing his highly compensated position in the league. By 2026, Kaepernick's legacy is a sobering testament to the transformative power of self-reinvention. He has moved from the coliseum of sport to the forefront of advocacy, using his one-race philosophy to inspire a more inclusive world. His story is a captivating exploration of how ancestral secrets, from the Ivory Coast to Wisconsin, can fuel a passionate advocacy that shreds through the biases of society. Colin Kaepernick remains a visionary role model, a man who refused to allow racial discrimination to dictate his worth, proving that the most iconic individuals are those who find strength and determination in their diverse heritages. Amber Rose. In the high-octane world of hip-hop and celebrity culture, Amber Rose is a figure who has constantly shredded through societal expectations. Known for her bold and charismatic persona and her signature buzz cut, she first entered the glittering world of fame as a model and muse. However, beneath the flashing lights lies a hidden layer to her identity that has often been a point of unsettling truth for the public. Born Amber Levenchuk in Philadelphia, her rich and varied cultural background is a blend of continents. Her father is of Irish and Italian descent, while her mother, Dorothy Rose, is of African American and Cape Verdean heritage. This ancestral secret means that while some may perceive her as white passing, Amber is a woman of color who has had to navigate the murky area of racial perception her entire life. Growing up in South Philly, Amber faced a harsh reality check early on, witnessing the complex interplay of racial identity within her own family. She has been forthright about the difficulties faced by multi-ethnic individuals, particularly the societal pressure to conform to one specific box. The rotten core of the media often tried to typecast her based on her unique appearance, but Amber chose to use her platform to spark crucial conversations about diversity and inclusion. She has famously championed the slut walk movement, a catalyst for change that addresses double standards and victim blaming, proving that her unwavering self-confidence is her greatest weapon against racial and gender bias. By 2026, Amber Rose has evolved into a visionary entrepreneur and respected figure in social advocacy. She remains a role model for those who refuse to be defined by the perceptions of others, consistently honoring her Black and Cape Verdean roots. Her story is a captivating exploration of how ancestral secrets can fuel a career of authenticity. She has peeled back the layers of deception often found in Hollywood, proving that identity is multifaceted and that representation matters. Amber stands as a sobering reminder that the most iconic individuals are those who embrace both their Polynesian and Black cultures, or in her case, her unique Atlantic fusion, with unwavering resolve. Tinashe. In the glittering world of contemporary R&B, Tinashe Kachingwe is a unique and remarkable talent, a triple threat performer whose smoky vocals and action-packed dance routines have earned her a squeaky clean image of professionalism and musical genius. Yet her fascinating personal story is rooted in a rich and varied cultural background that spans from the heart of Southern Africa to the plains of Scandinavia. Born in Lexington, Kentucky, Tinashe is the daughter of Michael Kachingwe, a man of Zimbabwean Shona descent, and Therese, a woman of Danish, Norwegian, and English heritage. This ancestral secret provided her with a rhythmic foundation that she has used to shred through the rigid racial classifications of the music industry. Growing up as a biracial individual in a predominantly white area before moving to Los Angeles, Tinashe often felt like a racial lone ranger. She has discussed the unsettling truths of the murky area where the industry didn't know how to market her, often feeling devoid of depth to executives who wanted her to fit a typecast Black or pop aesthetic. However, she refused to allow racial discrimination to dictate her art. Her 2014 debut, Aquarius, was a breakthrough that showcased her multicultural identity, blending alt-R&B with global influences. By 2026, her trajectory in Hollywood serves as a sobering testament to the enduring power of resilience, as she has successfully reclaimed her independence as an artist. Tinashe remains a role model who proudly celebrates her multi-ethnic background, often sharing how her Shona heritage influences her vocal range and creative vision. She has shredded through the turbulent waters of public life by staying connected to her roots and approachably using her influence to inspire others. Her story is a captivating exploration of why we must honor the diversity within the arts. She is a woman who values her heritage, not as a haze of confusion, but as the motivation for her profound understanding of global music. Tinashe stands as one of the most iconic individuals of her generation, a visionary who proved that the brightest stars are often those who embrace every hidden layer of their soul. We've unmasked the complex identities of 20 global icons, but one burning question remains. Does Hollywood still force stars to choose a single racial box to survive? In a world that loves to categorize, these celebrities prove that identity is a multifaceted masterpiece, not a black and white choice. But we want to hear from you. Which of these 20 stories left you the most astonished? Did you ever suspect that the stars you've watched for years shared such a deep and varied black heritage? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective is the heartbeat of this channel. If you're proud of your roots and love uncovering the truth, give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Stay tuned to Black Celebrity Secrets for more insights into the icons you love.